Residents in some of Singapore's new public housing estates are facing a worrying problem. They're allegedly reporting missing items and broken locks in their units. They're undergoing renovations. While at least 3 police reports have been filed, other residents say they're grappling with the same unsettling issues. MPs for these areas have been warning residents to take extra precautions to safeguard their belongings. For more on this, we have Metteo. Rebecca, thanks for joining me. So how did this story come about?
Right, Jen. So I first heard about this story from a colleague who has friends who are renovating their new flat, and they noticed they had items going missing. And so I decided to visit this estate over at Bidadari. Parkview at Bidadari is a project name, to speak to residents as well as to find out more. So let's take a look at this estate map right over here that we will be showing very shortly. Yeah, so as you can see in this map, right, so this project, Parkview at Bidadari, has 3 blocks under this project. So you see that Block 233A is located along Aljunied Road, and Block 233B and C, they're actually set further inside, away from the main road. Now, the reason why I brought up this point is because when I spoke to the residents there, they told me that a lot of the cases that they are seeing, missing items, tempered locks even, occurred at these 2 blocks. So after that, I also went to walk around the estate, and I noticed that there are still some ongoing minor construction works as well as landscaping works perhaps. So I gathered that the residents probably just got their keys, and most of them are in the middle of their renovations. So the more I went into the story, I also found out that these incidents of missing items and locks being tampered with weren't just happening at Bidadari. Let's take a closer look. The first sign of something not quite right was a damaged kitchen countertop. And allegedly none of the contractors renovating the place said they did it. Then a bathroom fixture, a shower head that went missing without a trace. The new homeowners who didn't want to be named claimed to have filed a police report. They alleged that the temporary bicycle lock used to secure the house was tampered with. It's an unsettling state of affairs not just for them, but other residents whose units are undergoing renovations in the block. Like Mr. Hernandez and his wife, they say someone stole a portable charger, some cables and drinks from their unit.
We noticed that some of our personal belongings were taken away. After that, we contacted our ID to ask whether there were any works that were done Sunday morning or Saturday evening after we left. But to her knowledge, there were no contractors that entered our house. So up till now, we are not very sure who entered the house.
For now, they are not putting any valuables in the unit, and the bicycle lock is now replaced by a digital lock. Sources tell me that at least 5 units claimed to have had their temporary locks meddled with over the last couple of months. Another owner who wants to remain anonymous showed me photos of her lock, apparently sawn open, and has since made a police report. Her home renovation started in June, and 2 weeks in, the interior designer warned about leaving valuables behind. This after a worker said that someone had been messing with the locks in the unit. An interior designer explains that bicycle locks are cheaper and are typically used during renovations to make it convenient for different contractors to access the site. Sometimes metal chains are also used.
These are usually more sturdy and more firm. It's harder to cut, whereas there's another type which are slimmer, smaller. You can see metal fibers here.
Brand new estates are also more vulnerable.
BTO, basically you have a whole block, a whole development where you have a lot of units undergoing renovation, and they're very easily accessible. So residents here don't know each other, so they can't really keep an eye, look out for suspicious characters. Whereas resale flats are, they're more sporadic, so you may not know that the flat is undergoing renovation, and there will be lesser chance that there will be an attempt for, let's say, break-ins.
I took a walk around the estate and noticed that nearly all the homes here are using bicycle locks to secure their gates. During the day, there's also a steady stream of workers moving in and out of these homes to carry out renovation works. For peace of mind, a few units here have also installed what appears to be a temporary CCTV camera right outside their homes.
As a safety measure, I just have a small camera here inside. And in case anyone comes, it will get recorded.
Last month, there are 2 to 3 times the police actually came down to the site. I think one time is during weekday, the other day is during the weekends. They are actually patrolling around.
We actually bought a better lock to lock our door, and for us we also install CCTV inside our house so that those that we does not know and those strangers that come inside will actually can see their faces.
Things are also going missing at another new estate in the northeast. I made my way to Hougang Citrine, where residents in these 6 blocks have also been losing items. Anything from towels, pails, and in some cases, digital devices. I found one peculiar case. This unit's bicycle lock was cut on 11 June, replaced on 12 June, and the next day it was cut again before being replaced on the same day. The matter was reported by the HDB on-site office staff to the resident, who was urged to report this to the police. Thankfully, nothing went missing. Like Bidadari, other units are also facing the same menace.
So we placed the CCTV inside our unit facing the door because we realized there's someone pushing the wooden door. Then just one side's open. Then I realized that they saw the CCTV there. Then they stopped because ours was bicycle lock, so I'm not sure what they are trying to do.
Talking about CCTVs, I spotted a poster in the lift lobby saying that police cameras will be installed around the blocks by October.
Now, Rebecca, you went down to the estate a few times, actually. What else did you see?
Yes, Jen, I did make a few trips to these estates. So when I was walking through the estates, I made it a point to really observe. And one of the things I looked out for was whether there were any CCTV cameras around the estate. So what I found was that each lift does have 2 cameras, CCTV cameras, for both Parkview at Bidadari and Hougang Citrine. But I didn't see any police cameras just yet. You know, these cameras are typically installed at the common lobby areas. So far, I haven't spotted them. And at this point, it's very hard to say whether they are mischief or actual theft. So it could also be someone going around tampering with locks and attempting to enter the house and perhaps grab something, right? And from what I understand, when these reports are made, police usually will also step up patrolling in these areas. So of course, I will have to contact the police to find out more. So they have confirmed with me that there were at least 3 reports made across these 2 estates, Hougang Citrine and Parkview at Bidadari. For Parkview at Bidadari, they confirmed 2 reports. Hougang Citrine is 1 report. So they say that they also shared with me that the police aims to expand the police cameras coverage to 200,000 by mid-2030s across the island. That's to better cover new housing estates as well as existing residential areas. Now, as we saw earlier in my story, is that police cameras will be up very soon for residents at Hougang, the Hougang Citrine project. And as far as I understand, police cameras will also be up eventually at Parkview at Bidadari.
All right. And who else did you talk to check on these things?
So I got in touch with the MPs for the area who are looking after these estates. So MP for Potong Pasir SMC, Alexio, actually told me that he is aware of these isolated reports of mischief and he is urging his residents to be observant and mindful during this period. And actually he and his team, they are helping the new residents on various issues such as on amenities, cleanliness, as well as the safety of the estate. Now, I also got in touch with MP for Marine Parade Brettle Heights GRC, Diana Pang, who said that a resident, in fact, wrote into her and raised concerns about missing items at BTO estates for residents going through renovation works. And that's why she put up this advisory on her social media platform earlier on in June. And that is to remind her residents to stay vigilant. She also said that in her recent house visits, she noticed that several of the homes actually use very simple bicycle locks to secure their property and belongings. And I believe she has also advised her residents to use something perhaps more complex.
Something more secure, right?
Yeah,
It's like-
exactly.
I'm curious, Rebecca, is this the first time we've seen something like this in Singapore?
Now, for a little bit of context, there were confirmed cases, but that's more about a decade ago. So there was a man who was arrested under suspicion of serial housebreaking, and he reportedly targeted mostly flats that were undergoing renovation. So in that case, workers started noticing their power tools, things like demolition, hammer drills going missing. And there are also other things that could go missing in a flat that's under renovation. And these are things like, bathroom fittings, light fixtures. So these are things that you commonly find in a new flat, right? And based on my conversation with a renovation company is that these things can also be resold on online platforms like Carousel.
Right. Now, see, these estates are new, so it's unoccupied at the moment. They're being renovated. Is there any way to, rope in, I suppose, contractors and designers to help with the security?
Yeah, for sure. So the devil is in the details, right? So the contractors actually have to make sure that they double coil these bicycle locks if they are using. The reason being is that if you can see from this video that we are showing here, if they don't double coil it, there's actually a wide enough gap for an average size human to squeeze in, open the wooden lock, and just enter and grab things out and squeeze out again. So it's really important that they make sure that the workers on the ground double coil these bicycle locks. So another way is also to change the PIN code after every milestone of a renovation so that different contractors actually has a different PIN code, and the previous contractor will not be able to access your house after works are done. And the IDs should also practice due diligence. They have to check in on your flat regularly. And if something like this does happen, I also understand from the renovation company that they typically conduct an internal investigation first, and that is they will start to review timesheets, look at the works that were done on a particular day, as well as, look at when the workers started and ended their works. Now, that's before they take any further actions. Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure that IDs and contractors come in regularly, also just to check on the status, make sure that things are properly locked up and things are in condition. The trade supervisors, for instance, they can instill more culture in terms of like awareness, awareness culture where they look out for certain things in the house, not leave the place unattended as they leave for breaks and things like that.
So the onus cannot just be, of course, on the contractors and the renovators, right? So moving to us as homeowners, what else can we do? If you've just got a flat and we're undergoing renovation, how else can we, keep safe?
Yes, Jen, you're right. Homeowners cannot be passive in this as well, right? So there are some steps that homeowners can take. For example, they can choose to install a digital lock earlier on in their renovation. But renovation companies have also cautioned that that may not be such a great idea because during the process of renovation, there are a lot of carpentry going in and out of your house, and that will risk damaging your digital lock. You will get dirty, scratches, and that's also why a lot of homeowners actually leave that to the end of the renovation or even when they're closer to the end of the renovation. And that's why bicycle locks, by now you should see that it is indeed a more convenient and cheaper option. And that's why it's widely used in the industry. And so there are other ways, however, that homeowners can also look to better protect their property and belongings. For example, they can install door cams so they can see anyone who is perhaps lingering outside their home, and they can perhaps, monitor it remotely as well. And other method could be to install a CCTV outside your house, but that you'll have to seek advice from the town council. And one interesting solution that the company told me was actually the homeowners can actually choose to install this battery-powered motion sensor lighting that could perhaps startle the intruders. So I thought that was a pretty creative way. And so home units like the interior designers, they should also visit their unit as often as possible. Now, police, of course, have also advised homeowners to perhaps arrange the delivery of their items only after the homeowners have moved in. And if they really need to have these items delivered before the renovation is completed, they should make sure to pull these items in one room, lock them up for additional security, right? But still, after all this, there's no sure way to prevent an incident like that. But what I've noticed is that a lot of these new homeowners, especially in the last last few years have been connecting with one another even before they got their keys. So they will start a Telegram chat group, WhatsApp chat group, and once they start renovating their house, they will actually flag these incidents on this common chat group, and that's when the homeowners will alert one another and take the necessary precautions.
All right, quite a few good ideas there. Thanks for that, and I guess homeowners have things to consider and chew on. Thanks, Rebecca, and that was Rebecca Metteo on this story.